Bird Maiden is a 1/2 creature with flying that costs 2 and a red mana. Bird Maiden is really interesting because it's the first example of a card that was outclassed before it was printed. Granite Gargoyle is a 2/2 flyer that can pump its toughness that also costs 2 and a red mana. I haven't done my hair. So why am I talking about a card that really sucks and always did? Because I fucking love Bird Maiden, and I don't give a shit about power level, and it's my channel, so I get to do what I want. Unless nobody clicks on the video, then that's not such a good strategy to just do what I want. But I'm willing to risk that for Bird Maiden. Now, I will say that 90% of why I love this card is the art, but it isn't the only reason, and we'll talk about the art last, so we'll just gloss over that for right now. It's also worth noting that this card isn't technically completely outclassed, at least not when it was printed. Granite Gargoyle is a rare, and Bird Maiden is a common, so while that doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot, it does kind of explain why Bird Maiden is weaker, at least partially. I really like Bird Maiden, for more than just the art, so let's talk about its other qualities. Well, it has a toughness of 2, so it can't be killed by Prodigal Sorcerer. That's really good. It also has a power of 1, which means it can deal damage. That's good. Okay, fine. The card does kinda suck. I can accept that, but also it has flying. If you've watched any of my Chandelar content, you probably know I like Bird Maiden. I kept this dumb card in my deck way longer than I should have, but in my defense, it kept winning me games because flying is really fucking good. Sure, this card is a French vanilla, and the power to mana value rate is garbage, and this card was outclassed before it was printed, but I mean, come on, look at this fucking thing. How can you not love this card? Anyway, I fucking love Bird Maiden, but it is just a French vanilla 1/2 that costs 3 mana, so I don't actually have much to say about it. So today I'm going to actually talk about 2 cards. It's another 1/2 that costs 2 and a red. Can you guess what it is? That's right, it's Spinal Villain. Spinal Villain is pretty interesting because you can tap it to destroy a blue creature. What an insane deal. And it has 2 toughness, so you can play it out into Prodigal Sorcerer. Doesn't get any better than that. So this card is a card that has always kind of fascinated me. But there isn't much to say about it, so I figured I'd sneak it in the Bird Maiden video. It's fine enough as a sideboard card, I guess, but even in old school, you have better options. This is probably funny in Commander, but, you know, that doesn't make a card good. I'm also really interested in what you think of Spinal Villain. Is this thing funny and fucked up? Is it actually good in some situation I'm not thinking of? Do its eye sockets look like butts? Don't tell me what you think its mouth looks like, unless you want to mention that it looks like it's eating spaghetti. This art is fucked up, but since blue is the color of big brain mind geniuses that spend all day pontificating, it makes sense that this card is a horror of which the mind has trouble processing. That's what I call flavor. Also, this might be a hot take, but I do think that you'd probably have more real-world success slotting in a Bird Maiden than you would a Spinal Villain in most situations. Flying is just way more likely to be useful than color-specific creature removal. Maybe that's not such a hot take. Also, if Spinal Villain could tap to blow up a blue permanent, or tap to also counter a blue spell, this thing would be so fucking cool. But, alas. Let's talk about the art, shall we? Both of these cards only have 1 art, so this won't take too long. Bird Maiden was illustrated by Kaja for Arabian Nights and was reprinted into 4th and 5th edition, but it only has the 1 artwork. This might be one of my favorite artworks in the entire game. It's a 1/2 flyer in red, which isn't completely unheard of, but red also isn't known as the flying color. I think Bird Maiden does an excellent job of showing off aspects of red that are less commonly referenced. This human bird is the epitome of freedom, and she knows it. She's soaring high and enjoying every moment of it, reveling in her power to escape that which would bind her. That's very red. but the text box itself doesn't express this anywhere near as well as the art does. I think that's really fucking cool. Kaja is probably my favorite artist in Magic. It's hard to say for sure because so much Magic art makes me happy, but I really enjoy Kaja's work. This work is fantastic, contrast is incredible, the perspective is interesting, and the vivid colors and heavy saturation lends itself well to the spirit of red. I seriously love this art. I could glaze it all day. It's also special to me because the lady that lives with me and sleeps in my bed also loves this art a lot. We find excuses to make Bird Lady playable, just for the joy of seeing it on the table. And if that isn't magic, I don't know what magic is. But let's talk about this monstrosity, because I also enjoy this art, but for very different reasons. This is such a Magic card. Look at this fucking thing. It's alien, and the design is not very human. I really appreciate cards like this because it makes the game feel all the more alien and magical. This thing is gross as fuck. If some wizard spit this out of a wormhole at me, I'd be aghast and disgusted. What a cool fucking game. Spinal Villain was illustrated by Anson Maddox, another fantastic artist I enjoy a lot, and this one is so fantastic for reasons that are kind of different than the reasons I appreciate most Magic art. That in its own right is pretty magical if you ask me. But yeah, I don't know, that's all I really have for you today. Bird Maiden is the coolest fucking shit in the whole fucking game and you'll never convince me otherwise. And Spinal Villain is the stuff of nightmares. Tell me what you think of these cards in the comments if you have the inclination. Otherwise, you can like the video if you liked it. You can, of course, subscribe if you give a shit. But either way, I hope you have a magical day. Thanks for watching.